Dr. John Westrup's office. Hello, Doc.
Well, hello there.
So, I understand you've got a tale or two to tell about World War II. Is that true?
Well, we told a couple of people that we were going to solve a war mystery today, but we were not expecting an entire crowd. But this is great. And what do they say? The more? The merrier, exactly. Well, welcome everyone. Again, my name is Dr. Westrup, and this is my clinic. And I'd like to introduce you to one of our nurses, Nurse Grace Obata. Nurse Obata is from St. Mary's Hospital in Rochester, and she is here to help us with all of the polio cases that we've received this year.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Nurse Obata was part of the U.S. Cadet Nursing Corps. She studied at St. Mary's Hospital School of Nursing, and over there, during that time, there was a nursing shortage. Now, because of the nursing shortage, St. Mary and the Franciscan sisters, Antonia and Domitilla, reached out to Japanese American women at Japanese internment camps. Altogether, 51 Japanese women were brought to Rochester, Minnesota, and their experience and their services were invaluable. In fact, Nurse Obata, would you like to tell your story?
Certainly, Doctor. My full name is Aiko Grace Obata. Growing up in San Francisco, I always wanted to be a nurse. My mother taught Japanese language classes to earn money after my father had died. I enrolled in the University of California nursing program, but after a year, Pearl Harbor was bombed. My family and all Japanese Americans were sent to a desert concentration camp in Arizona, where we were imprisoned. My brothers had already joined the army. It was a barren place and had many sandstorms. We were in the most primitive of barracks. I worked as a nurse's aide in the camp. One day, Eleanor Roosevelt, the first lady, visited our camp. She was shocked at the conditions. She convinced the president that we must be allowed to, at least, move wherever others would host us. For me and 50 other Japanese American girls, that was St. Mary's in Rochester.
And nurse, I've always had a question to ask you. I believe that after your training, you served at the Schick Army Hospital in Iowa. Is that correct?
Correct.
I always wanted to know, did you have any trouble with the soldier patients who fought in Japan?
No, I did not,
That's good.
although my supervisor was worried. They were grateful for good care and so tired of war. I was able to see the terrible effects of war.
I bet you were. Well, we shouldn't delay things any longer, nurse. I think it's time to unravel this mystery. So everyone, are you ready to solve the mystery of today? Yes? So today, I received this mystery flag from one of my soldier patients after the Battle of Attu, where we were taking back two of the islands that the Japanese troops had taken from us. I've never been able to translate what this flag means. Nurse Obata, could you help us understand what is written on this flag?
My Japanese is not perfect, but I will do my best, sir. This is a Nishoki flag, or Yosegaki Hinomaru flag, handmade and presented to a Japanese soldier by his community and friends before going off to war. It is covered with good wishes. I will read it to you what I can. Here it says, "May your military fortunes be long-lasting." Thank you. Here it says, "Congratulations for going off to war, Mr. Yamamoto Toshimasa." Here is the name of the officer of the army unit, Yoshida Takehiko. There are all the names of community and friends.
That's interesting.
There are some messages. Service to the country. And here it says, service to the country, and be sure of victory. And at the very end, there's another name of the officer of the army unit.
Oh, right here?
Yeah. And the name is Koike Akimasa. And he's giving a message from Zen Buddhism. It says, "Stand firm in the 8 winds of temptation."
That is fascinating. Thank you so much, Nurse Obata. This has been extremely helpful and very valuable. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. You know, everyone, going off to battle and going off to war is
Hey,
tough
Doc.
for any.
Doc.
Oh,
Hey, hold up a second.
oh! Don't worry, everyone. That's a weapon, but this is a friend of mine, Orval Amdahl. Hi, Orval. How are you?
Hey, good. How are you?
Good.
Say, I heard you guys were doing some show and tell over here, and so I thought I'd bring something over too.
That sounds great.
While we were disarming the Japanese army, we had piles of these swords, and my superiors let me take one home. Nurse, I was hoping you might be able to tell me a little something about this.
Let me see. This is a Japanese traditional samurai sword, handcrafted at least about 100 years ago. It is called a katana. It is quite fine. My father had one too.
Wow, that is just swell. Well, I promise to take good care of it. Say, have you guys heard anything about the 3 Haraldson girls over at the polio ward?
We have, and actually, they're not doing well. All 3 are recuperating in iron lungs as we speak. Norma, Gladys, and their sister. As you might know, their sister and her husband are expecting a child. She may have to give birth in the iron lung. For those of you that don't know what an iron lung is for, it is a giant metal tube that our patients are placed into. These are patients that have polio where the paralysis has impacted their lungs. It's very difficult for these patients to breathe. In fact, sometimes it's impossible. While they're in the iron lung, there is a pump that helps their diaphragm and their lungs move in and out. For many patients, this is a relief. But to give birth in one of these machines, I've never witnessed such a situation. You might want to tell Marie that just today, one of the local teenagers, Alice Burgee, she just checked in and she's in terrible condition.
Oh, well, I'll make sure to let her know. You know, in times like this, I can't help but feel a little worried for my family. I was just reading in the Lanesboro Leader today that already in Fillmore County, we've had 47 cases of polio and 4 deaths. Scary times.
Indeed it is. You might want to tell your wife, Marie, that to keep your children out of any swimming holes and pools. We feel that polio may be breeding in those areas. You may also want to keep your children out of the schools just as for this fall. Doctors are really trying their hardest to get a vaccine, but we don't know when one will be available. I'm sure parents like yourselves are going to be very gracious once the vaccine is provided. Me and the nurse will have to leave very quickly after today's ceremony in order to check in on all of our patients. In fact, Nurse Obata, I was going to ask you, can you join us for a military parade that is a little bit later today? Your services to our troops has been impeccable.
Thank you.
And to everybody else. I was just about to go and join some Legion friends of mine over at Joel's Pool Hall, right over across the way. Would you like to join me?
Yes.
All right, then let's go ahead and let's walk down the sidewalk and let's go this way.